Hello, everyone, and welcome to P1 Broadcasting coverage of the NTRL Prospec Xfinity Series. Mark Murphy here in the booth with you as we get ready for the Texas 300 kilometer. Chris Goins on the pole, extending his reign at the top of the timesheets. He, of course, won last week at Dover. There are still a few cars left to go here, but before we do that, let's bring in our Dover results. Last week, it was Chris Goins with the win, and he took that. And I don't know where that went, so throw that one up for the bug list. But it was Chris Goins winning from Alfie Sharon Jr. Sean Roberts was third. Zeth Hawley was fourth, and Joe David rounded out the top five. Alfie Sharon Jr. extended his points lead 169 and 162 over Chris Goins. Matt Sisler is now third in the points. Nick Biddy is fourth, and Jesse Redding is fifth with 141. We've got about 5 minutes left in qualifying, as you can see, just a little bit less than that. Just a little bit less than that. And right now, Goins again on the pole from Joseph Bennett the second. Thomas Welch is third. Zeth Hawley is fourth. Michael Bennett rounds out your top five. Alfie Sharon Jr. is sixth. Paul Durkee seventh. Skylar Harrod is eighth. Scott Milner ninth. And Matt Sisler has just gone to third on the board. We see that good-looking Birdie's Toyota, number 93. He's going to be coming back in, I believe. He's on his in lap here. Wonderful track, Texas. So mile and a half, 125 laps here this evening of iRacing action. Texas, and this is the new version of Texas. So what you look for at this version of Texas is the track is very wide and somewhat more flat in turns 1 and 2. It does kind of narrow up a little bit as you come off the corner. Cars tend to get very, very free or very, very understeer or tight as you come off of that corner, depending on your driving style and how you approach the corner. You get down to the end of the back straight. You go through turns 1 and 2. Go through turns through turns 3 and 4 rather, and as you see Derek Welch, you just kind of hug the bottom. You're going to get right down on that white line, come off the corner, up against the wall and back toward the start-finish line. But there are a multitude of different ways to get through turns 1 and 2. You'll see guys all the way up against the wall. You will see cars all the way around the bottom, and you will see cars anywhere in between. So look out for that this evening as we get down to just under 3 minutes to the start of the race. And there's our results from Dover. So Alfie Sharon Jr. took the fastest lap. He also took the pole. He led the most laps. Sean Roberts was the hardest charger. He made it all the way up to third place after starting in the back in the 164 lapper. We did have 13 cautions last week. Do not anticipate having that many this week. Texas, a very wide racetrack, facilitates multiple lanes, multiple options to pass, unlike Dover, which is very, very narrow. And then you do see your points there. So Alfie Sharon Jr. does lead those points, and he is 7 up on Chris Goins. Matt Sisler is 10 back in third. So looking forward to a wonderful points battle to close out the season. Chris Goins currently on the pole, lap at 30 seconds. 0.853. Joseph Bennett just 7 thousandths off in the 00. Matt Sisler is third currently. We get down to a minute left in qualifying here. I am by myself this evening. Unfortunately, my colleague Justin unable to go. We've got Tom Barish there parked along the inside wall. But wish Justin Petchower all the best. Could not make it this evening, so it'll just be me in the booth. Go ahead and send those questions in via chat. we'd be more than happy to talk to anybody out there today as we get into 40 seconds left. EV Racing, that's right, 00, 18, 24, 27, and 44. That's a lot of favorite cars in there for us. Lots of favorites, but he does have one on the front row. That being Joseph Bennett. So don't foresee. Well, Sean Roberts may be out on the track here. Let's see if we can't get to Sean. There we go. We'll watch his qualifying run to close it out. He's got 10 seconds to get back to the line. Now, this happened to me in a IndyCar race not too long ago where I did not get back to the line in time, and this lap will not count for Sean Roberts. He'll remain 8th quick. And that will bring us to the starting lineup. On the pole for tonight's race, Chris Gones, 30.853. Joseph Bennett will flank him on the outside. Matt Sisler will roll 3rd. He'll have Thomas Welch to his outside in 4th. Zeth Hawley is 5th. Michael Bennett is 6th. The 78 of Alfie Sharon Jr. led the most laps since out on the pole last week, will roll 7th. Sean Roberts 8th. Paul Durkee 9th. And Skylar Herod will round out your top 10. 11th, Scott Milner. The number 1 of Derek Welch is 12th. Ryan Pisacco will go 13th. He'll be flanked by Anthony Williams in 14th. That's the number 5. Chris Klein in 15th. Nick Biddy 16th. Crystal Villano, great run until a late accident last week. She'll start 17th. Nicholas Tucker will be to her outside in 18th for the number 88. Paul Ferdiani, 19th. And Mike Corvo will round out your top 20. 21st, Jesse Redding in the 21. Very fitting starting spot for him. 22nd, Tom Barish. Mike Fahey and Russell Endicott will make up row number 12. Benjamin McKinnon and Chris Schusler, row 13. Row 14, Justin Lawson, Jarrett Woodard. Row 15, Joshua Moore and Andy Sizemore. Starting 31st, Chuck Kiger. 32nd, Trenton Collins. 33rd, Hayden McCollum. These cars did not take time. And then Joe David does not show on the starting grid. However, he will take the start in 34th, shotgun on the field. And that's your starting lineup for tonight's NTRL Prospec Xfinity Series Texas 300K, 125 laps, 300 kilometers here at the newly configured Texas Motor Speedway. As we wait on the cars to peel away, and there they go. Green. Yes, Albert, I am also looking forward to some great racing action tonight. It is a little bit more difficult to do it solo, but we're absolutely going to give it our best go here. The field, you can already see them; they're fanning out there on the pace lap, which some of that is to avoid contact, but some of it is to feel. So in iRacing, the way that they simulate marbles, dirty racetrack, and so forth, is you can actually hear the pickup on the tires begin to hit the underside of the car, and so that's something that some of those drivers out there may be looking for. How high does that pickup start to go? As we focus in on the front row, Chris Gones, Joseph Bennett set to lead him down behind the Ford Mustang pace car. We're going to go one more pace lap. Lights still on that Mustang there. Kind of go back through the field a little bit. One of the things we kind of missed on last week was we did not, due to a technical glitch, we weren't able to show some of the magnificent paint schemes that are a part of this NTRL Prospec Xfinity series, and so we are definitely going to do that today. Good looking paint job on the 31 there, Scott Milner. A lot of them out there. Good to see the kaleidoscope of colors as we travel behind the pace car. All right, lights are out. The field under the control of the pole sitter, Chris Gones. Bennett to his outside, Sizzler in third. There's the green flag, and away we go here in the Texas 300K. And just like that, one lap in the books, working lap 2. Chris Gones leads Matt Sizzler, Michael Bennett third, Skylar Herod fourth, and Sean Roberts is going to round out your top 5. Closest battle on the track, and the front have kind of spread out a little bit, but you're seeing some good racing there. That's Sean Roberts, currently 6th. He's followed by Derek Welch, but you're already seeing cars begin to work toward the high side. Sean Roberts, an early adopter, as Skylar Herod gets the early purple lap. Skylar Herod will have their position highlighted in purple on the scoring pylon. So if you're keeping track of the fastest lap, that's how we do that. But already Sean Roberts working toward the high side of Alfie Sharon, and he will make the pass, and he immediately picks up toward the 4th place machine of Skylar Herod. This is the best battle on the speedway. That is the number 33 of Sean Roberts to the high side of the 78 of Alfie Sharon, followed closely by Derek Welch in the number 1. 2 by 2 they go through turns 1 and 2. More cars now jumping up to the high side. That would be the 3 of Skylar Herod. Works to the outside of Michael Bennett. Can't complete the pass. Now Alfie Sharon going to take it to the bottom side. He'll try to follow Michael Bennett through. And way, way, way up to the high side goes Sean Roberts. Now they're going to have to be careful. How much do you want to race, and how much tire do you want to use? Because Seth Hawley, Paul Durkee, and Anthony Williams are closing up on that battle. That is the race for third, fourth, or for 4th, 5th, and 6th, as we call it and see it on the speedway. That is Herod in that good-looking number 3 machine to the top side of Alfie Sharon Jr. In the black and chrome number 78. And this will give you a good sense of the different lines that you'll see throughout this evening. It's been a while since I've run an Xfinity car here now. The last time I ran a truck here, I had my car all the way up against the fence, which you can do. You can do that in an open wheel car for certain sure. Xfinity cars handle a little bit differently. They do have a little bit more horsepower. They do, of course, have more downforce than a truck. And they're a lot less draggy, and so they tend to run a lot more loose. A lot of times being on the high side, if you have a loose race car, is not the best thing for you, because when you come off the corner, the car just wants to snap around. And so don't know if we'll see these guys and gals go all the way up there, although they might. And certainly Sean Roberts has been higher than most, as we see him take it to the high side one more time. Of the three of Skylar Herod, Chris Gones and Michael Bennett run side by side for second, as Matt Sisler leads them down into turns 1 and 2. Give you a sense from Derek Welch here of that battle from inside the gyro cam. This is one of my personal favorite views. Just to watch a race, you can see not only the banking as Welch just tags the outside retaining wall coming off of turn number 2. That will probably not hurt the car, but it does get your attention, that 0X, as you get up close to the fence there. You see the 24, that is Zeth Hawley working to the inside. One of the things that will also, as we've already got 10 laps in the books, working lap number 11. One of the things that you may or may not know as iRacing fans or race fans in general is that as the tires wear, these cars will get very light coming through the tri-oval, especially starts and restarts. If you got guys that don't take tires or take right side tires only, they will get very light coming through the tri-oval. So that is something to watch for. It's a little bit more prevalent in open wheel cars, but the stock cars do it too. Continuing to watch this battle between Welch and Hawley. This is for 7th and 8th as they head down into turn number 1. That's Zeth Hawley on the low side. You've got Derek Welch on the high side, and Paul Durkee looked like he might want to make it 3 wide there, coming up through the middle. Circling among other battles on the speedway, Ryan Pisacco, he runs 12th currently in the number 2 machine, and he has Chris Klein to his outside in 13th. They've been doing battle over 12th and 13th for quite some time, just behind this lead group, but all sorts of action back up toward the top 10. You've got Chris Gones goes back to 11th. He works the outside of Mike Corriveau. Michael Bennett is trying to get to the inside of Anthony Williams. Meanwhile, up ahead, they seem to have all kind of strung out single file. You still do have Sean Roberts, and I'll circle back to him just a second. You still do have Sean Roberts. He is now settled into 4th, but he is definitely working that high side. And you see that good run down the backstretch, and he'll go to the inside of Alfie Sharon, make Sean Roberts 3rd if he can complete the pass. Can he do it? Can he do it? He most certainly does. Sharon will give way, move Roberts to 3rd, Sharon to 4th. And Derek Welch has moved into 5th. There you see the number one Toyota, lime green and black for the series director there. That is the 13 of Paul Durkee moving to the inside of Derek Welch. Paul Durkee, of course, in the number 13 Chevrolet. Now watch, Durkee's going to come off high here. He's going to get a good run down the back. He's going to sneak in the draft. We had one car tap the wall there. We're going to sneak a little bit further back and watch Anthony Williams as he works to the inside of Zeth Hawley. You got to be careful with that. You got to be careful with that because Michael Bennett, an interested party, to that action, and you're going to see the 64 work high in 1 and 2, and he's going to try to get that great run down the hill off the corner. Move Anthony Williams to 10th place. So the leader, that is Matt Sisler. Skylar Harrod has been right off the rear deck lid of the 93 machine for most of the opening stages of this one, and they've got quite a bit well, I take that back. That would be the 88 of Nicholas Tucker there. So Tucker does show on my screen 1 lap down. So Sisler has a 1.3 seconds over Sharon in second. We'll go to Alfie Sharon Jr. there in the number 78 machine. He'll run second. Third place, good looking chrome and black machine. Third place is the number 3 of Skylar Harrod. That's the number 3 Toyota. Fourth runs Derek Welch side by side with Paul Durkee there. That's 4th and 5th. And then 6th, our man on the high side, or has been on the high side. Now he's moved back down toward the bottom. Sean Roberts in the orange number 33. Michael Bennett is 7th. Good run for Michael so far. Chris Gones in the 41, and you'll see Zeth Hawley, and we've shown Zeth a few times today in the Jeff Gordon tribute car. Good run for Zeth, but that's Chris Gones in 8th, Hawley in 9th, and then Chris Klein in the 51 is going to round out your top 10. Anthony Williams, we've touched on just a little bit, is 11th in the number 5 car. Mike Corvu, 12th in the 97. There's Ryan Pisacco, 13th. And then Ryan Pisacco, 13th in the Deuce. The number 9 of Thomas Welch is 1 lap in arrears in the Mountain Dew car, but still circulating out there. We've got Scott Milner, 14th. Crystal Villano, 15th. Nick Biddy, 16th. Nice aquamarine looking machine for the 32. The 48 of Trenton Collins is 17th. Andy Sizemore, 18th in the 27. That is yellow, red, and white on that car. 19th, Jesse Redding in the 21. And then rounding out the top 20 right now, Justin Lawson in the 20, running 20th. 23 laps complete. Matt Sisler continues to lead at 1.6 seconds over Alfie Sharon Jr., Skylar Harrod 3rd, Derek Welch 4th, Sean Roberts 5th. Of course, next week these cars will be at Rockingham. Always an interesting time. I have been to Rockingham for a race in Life, one of the final events that they had at that speedway. Very much like Darlington, sandhill asphalt, very abrasive. Tires wear out. Be sure to check us out 8 o'clock next week. Hit the like on the video. Do us a solid. Subscribe to the channel, and catch us next week at Rockingham for the NTRL Prospec Xfinity Series. 8 o'clock Eastern Time, 7 Central, same channel, same great drivers. So Sizzler has broken away from Alfie Sharon, and we're gonna take a look at exactly what 1.6 seconds looks like from the roll bar of Alfie Sharon Jr. Black and chrome, but it doesn't. 1.7 seconds, 1.8 seconds doesn't really do justice to how far up the road your competitor is when it gets spread out like this. You can kind of see him, but it is not something that is. It is not something that is very close, and we'll see it now through the eyes of Alfie Sharon as he goes down into turns 3 and 4. That is not something that is uncommon in these cars. You hear the driver shut the car off, put in the clutch, coast it through the corner. The reason they're doing that is, of course, it saves fuel. And so something that you get to learn from riding along. If we look out the back of Alfie Sharon, that is looking off the right rear, back toward Chris Harrod, Sean Roberts, and Chris Gones. Those guys are all in a battle for 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th. That battle continues to rage on. Roberts had dropped back to 7th. Now he has decided it's time to go. He has worked his way back to 5th. Now he's working toward the outside. He had himself along the outside of Roberts, of Skylar Harrod for 3rd. He's alongside Roberts now for 4th, but he'll fall back in line into 5th. Derek Welch will draw a bead on Sean Roberts. He'll go to the inside. And so while the front two have drawn away, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th very much in dispute. The rest of the field is fairly well spread out. You've got to go back after this one. You've got to go back to Jesse Redding and Crystal Villano to find a close battle on the track. They were side by side not too long ago, but they have gotten back strung out. I'd like to give a call down to Mike Fahey in 23rd. Mike in the 19. He's followed by Joe DeVede in the 6th, but not for long. Joe going to look to the inside, decides better of it as they head off into turns 3 and 4. Russell Endicott is 23rd. Paul Ferdiani, 24th. World Poker Tour on the 44 of Paul Ferdiani. If I'm saying your names wrong, please, by all means, absolutely let me know, guys. Jared Woodard, 25th. Almost reminiscent of a Dan Gurney IMSA Eagle Toyota. 25th for Jarrett Woodard. 26th, Joseph Bennett in the 00. Prospec on the side of that car. Tom Barish in the 55. He's going to be 27th. 28th is Chris Schusler in the, let's see, that's Falcon Tires Toyota. 29th, Chuck Kiger. Huck's Gas Stations represented on the side of the 22. And then 30th, we've got Benjamin McKinnon, Meyer and Hellman's on that Camaro. 31st, Joshua Moore. Joshua is the last car on the lead lap, and he is about to succumb to our leader, Matt Sizzler, and go one lap down. Nicholas Tucker also one lap down in the 88. He's 32nd. Thomas Welch, 33rd. He is also one lap down. And last on the field, that's Hayden Malcolm in the 91. Hayden Malcolm is also one lap down, scored 34th. Back in traffic for Matt Sizzler. I wonder if Matt Sizzler is also lifting off in the corners. So Sizzler is not shutting the car off as Alfie Sharon is. Do not know about Chris Gomes, but we will check on Chris here in just a second. Did not hear Sizzler shut the motor off. Just a really long coast phase for Sizzler. What about Chris Gones in 3rd? Is he doing the same thing as Sharon, or is he is he just doing the long coast like Sizzler? Let's find out as they go down into turn number 3. That's going to be coming to pit road. Careful. Careful, Chris. Made up a lot of time on pit road, coming to pit road, and that's one way you can do it. 35 laps, and we are seeing green flag pit stops coming to lap 36 for most of the top competitors. That is Alfie Sharon, Chris Gones. We've got the 3 of Skylar Herod on pit road. Let's watch Chris. Did not see Chris Gones go up on the jacks. He was in the box for a grand total of 8 seconds. Did not see anybody take 4 tires on that exchange. Of course, not uncommon. Most leagues will limit you to a certain number of tires. It will also limit fuel to a certain percentage. Try to spice things up with more green flag pit stops. And so you get a choice. You can take tires now. You can take your tires later. Most drivers will usually elect to save their tires toward the end. You always want to have a set around for a late race restart if you need them. These cars can be very tricky to bring back to speed from behind the pace car. Even more so if you do not have fresh tires, and so most competitors will try to save a set as long as you can. Pisacco is in pit lane now. I did see Ryan Pisacco up on the jacks. That'll turn the lead back to Matt Sizzler 1 lap into his current run. And that means that everybody now has made their first pit stop. See Sizzler going around the 22 of Chuck Kiger. Going to put him 1 lap down. And there's that hot battle, the one that's been going for most of the afternoon. Alfie Sharon in 3rd. You've got Chris Gones 2nd. Skylar Herod is 4th. They are all within a second of each other on the speedway. Sean Roberts, Paul Durkee, and Chris Klein, Derek Welch have all fallen back a little bit on the pit stops. Gones managed to make that pass almost exclusively, I would say, with pit in and out. And so that's one thing that guys will practice, pit in and out, because you can make or break your race, or make up a lot of time at least, if you can get on and off a pit road faster than the other guy. It's a lot easier to pass them when they're parked on pit road than it is to pass them out on the racetrack. And so give a call down to Chris Gones on and off a pit road. Sharon, though, has been blindingly quick, and he's going to just ever so slightly begin to start reeling in Chris Gones, about half a tenth a lap quicker that time by 39.88 to a 32 931. So Sharon very slowly going to start reeling in Gones. Go back to Joe DeVete in 23rd. He's battling it out with a 44 of Paul Ferdiani. This is a pretty close battle on the speedway. And how about Trenton Collins and Ryan Pisacco? It's the 48 of Collins. He'll go to the inside at 35 of Anthony Williams. Move Trenton Collins up to 11th. Put Anthony Williams back to 12th. He'll fall into the clutches of Ryan Pisacco. And Collins is going to set sail for Michael Bennett, although Bennett is about a second and a half up the road, 1.4 seconds, call it. And he's racing in a tight battle with Nick Biddy. Been gaining solidly on Biddy, 0.8 of a second that last lap. And some of this is going to be down to tires. Who took 2, who took 4, who didn't take any, who's saving a set to the end of this one. Michael Bennett goes to the outside and will drive right around Nick Biddy. We'll put Michael Bennett up to 9th. So he goes after Derek Welch next on his hit parade, and he was almost a lap quicker than Welch that last time by. 9/10 of a second quicker for Bennett over Welch. So I would anticipate that we will see Michael Bennett make this pass, and we'll continue to follow him. Matter of fact, let's go inside the 64 machine. And you can hear it. New tires, very little lift. Welch really squirrely in front of him. Bennett's going to put it up on the high side, and he will drive right around. Derek Welch and right up to the back of Chris Klein. 64 coming through the field here in the second stint. So we've established about 35, 36 laps is what they can do on fuel. So we should be looking right at a 3-stopper. And there goes Bennett past the 51 of Klein, and the 48 of Trenton Collins goes past them both. As always in these races, there are comers and goers. So move Collins up to 7th. Trenton Collins going to try to track down Paul Durkee, Sean Roberts, and company up there in front of him. Of course, new tires on the 48. Some of these guys did not take them. Michael Bennett, Mike Corriveau, Hayden Malcolm also showing up on my screen as having taken a set of new Goodyears. And so Collins is the first one. Him and Bennett are going to be the first two on new tires. You do spend an extra 5 seconds on pit road, but you're going to gain that back and more out there on the racetrack. They are anywhere between 9/10 and a full second a lap faster than those racing around them. And you're going to see Collins just drive right, whichever way he wants to go. And I think Durkee's just going to let him go. He pulls up the racetrack. He's going to let Trenton Collins go to the inside. And so 48 to 5th. As always, a word to our sponsors here in the NTRL Prospec Custom Accessories Xfinity Championship. I'd like to thank Track Bar Media. They do video production, social media content, and digital billboard advertising, merchandise sales, motorsports photography, and esports market. That's www.trackbarmedia.com. Make sure to check out their website as well. Sim Gear Central makes quality button boxes for iRacing sims. Also for your info champs of our leagues, get a free button box. So thank you to Sim Gear Central for that. Davidson Builders is a home improvement business. Anything you want done to a house as an add-ons, etc., these guys can do. New Jersey area, veteran-owned. Check out Davidson Builders. Iron Horse Graphics for all of your iRacing paints and graphic needs. So thank you to Iron Horse Graphics. And our headline sponsor is Prospec. These guys do aftermarket parts and accessories for cars and trucks. Prospec Custom Accessories. And then lastly, we do have Beadle Customs. Beadle Custom Car Carriers. They make die-cast 18-wheelers. So if you're in the market for one of those, and those are awesome, by the way. I've seen a couple of them. Beadle's Custom Car Carriers. 51 laps out of a scheduled 125. Matt Sizzler leads it. Chris Goins is second. Trenton Collins has moved his 48 machine to third. And although he started to slow a little bit as we were watching him while we paid some bills, while he slowed a little bit in traffic there behind Alfie Sharon and Skylar Harrod, the four tires have really brought him up toward the front He is 3.2 seconds adrift of Matt Sisler, about a second and a half behind Chris Gones. Give you an idea of kind of the different speeds that they're running here. $157,797 that time by for Trenton Collins. Matt Sisler 158,517, and so that tells me, one, that new tires are worth something in the short run, but you absolutely can burn them off. Gives you a sense of the speeds there. Right around 158, the pace at the front. Trenton Collins 159,706 that last time by, so he is back to being a little bit faster. Maybe kind of let off a little bit, cool those tires down, but it does seem that they'll equalize after about 20 laps or so, which is fairly normal in these cars. Fairly normal that they would do that. See Collins going by the 57. That's Russell Endicott. Put him a lap down to third place. But the charge is definitely on for the 48. He has chopped another half a second away from the 41 of Chris Gones, and we'll look out the back. You see the 48, Trenton Collins there, powers to the inside, and he is definitely coming now. 0.7 of a second. .6, half a second. If I had the Jaws theme music, this would be a great time to play it. What a great shot. Gives you a sense. And that is the pass for second. It's the 48 of Trenton Collins. He went by Chris Gones, and that shows as the lead because we have Matt Sisler on pit road. Matt Sisler pits from the lead on lap 58. He did come in. He was on pit road 14.5 seconds. 39.6 second round trip. That tells me that Matt Sisler had had enough of the original set of Goodyear tires, and so we'll see Matt Sisler come back onto the speedway, pedaling for all he can, trying to get back out. But Sisler back on the speedway. He is now going to be 18th, one lap down, and we'll kind of check it out what he runs for his next lap, because Trenton Collins took those 4 tires and he went straight to the front. What's a lap with new tires look like for Chris Gones? We heard him long lifts and long coast phases earlier. Barely a lift this time. No saving. Hammer down. Matt Sisler comes by 31,656. That is 1.4 seconds faster than your leader, for Chris Goins. And this battle back this way still rages. That's Welch in third, Klein in fourth, Hawley fifth. Joseph Bennett has moved into sixth, although he's 8 seconds back. But Hawley and Klein have been racing tooth and nail for quite some time. You got the 79 there. Looking to the inside, that's Jarrett Woodard. Jarrett has just pitted, and so I would surmise that he may have sticker tires on that machine. And that's what fresh tires will do, right through the middle of the leaders. Good glimpse of Derek Welch up there. These guys just kind of trying to survive their tires here until what we would anticipate a stop at lap 70. They would do that, and then they would have one more, and they would have one more after. So if you stopped at 70, 105. So 2 more pit stops for everybody here. That is a power move from the 20, also on fresh tires. We'll call down to Chris Schusler. Haven't talked much about Chris today. Started 26th, currently 9th. He's been out there for 29 laps, so approaching the end of the fuel run, right on track to stop at lap 70, as we would anticipate. Chris Schusler was on pit road last time for 15.5 seconds, so would probably, again, hazard a guess that Chris took 4 tires the last time. And he's just about at the end of the sell-by date for those. Joshua Moore, 11th in the 18. And let's go on board with Alfie Sharon Jr. This is what new tires for one of the leaders looks like. And this can be very nerve-wracking when you're doing this, because it's not that the other guys aren't predictable. You race with them every week, certainly sometimes more than once a week, and so their tendencies are usually very well known to you by this point. A lot of these guys race multiple leagues across multiple nights, often with the same guys. It's not that the driver in front of you is unpredictable, but their tire situation can be unpredictable. These cars get very, very difficult as you pedal them deep into a run. The rear ends becomes very slippery. The right front does not want to grip anymore. You've got a long coast phase into the corner, and you've got to be very gentle trying to get off the corner. And that's exemplified perfectly here with Sean Roberts. You can hear the difference. We'll go back to Sean Roberts, but listen to how much longer he's off the throttle here. Roll very gently, very gently. Now full power. Just incidentally, it is a very warm track here, 120 degrees Fahrenheit. Not a hot day particularly, 71 degrees. But the track at 120 is going to get hot. It is going to get slippery. It is going to get greasy. Hang on to her, Sean. Hang on. That would be the 3 of Skylar Herod, going through into 9th. So put Sean Roberts back to 10th. 15 laps into his current run. This is clearly his double. I would guess he cannot wait to get on to new tires. Trenton Collins, though, remains your leader. 69 laps of 125, so we are past halfway. So we go back to the 41. Michael Bennett is second. Zeth Hawley is third. Derek Welch fourth. Chris Klein will round out your top 5. Joseph Bennett sixth. Matt Sizzler seventh. Alfie Sharon Jr. is 8th. Skylar Herod 9th. And Sean Roberts, who we were just on board with the old tires, is 10th. 11th, Chris Goins. 12th, Joshua Moore. Paul Durkee runs 13th. Nick Biddy 14th. Paul Ferdiani, 15th. Justin Lawson, who we just talked about, going through the middle of the leaders. He is 16th in that orange and blue number 20. 17th, Tom Barish in the 55 NTG. Green and black colors on the 55 machine. He is 17th. Mike Caribou in the 97. Runs 18th. Ryan Pasacco in the deuce is 19th. Show Ryan there. Good run for him. Rounding out the top 20, Anthony Williams in the number 5. Jesse Redding is 21st. Thomas Welch is 22nd. We'll show Thomas. I haven't shown Thomas for a good while. There is the Diet Mountain Dew number 9. Andy Sizemore in the 27. He runs 23rd. Joe DeVede in the 6th. Started 34th, so he's made up 10 spots to run 24th. Hayden Malcolm's 91 is 25th. And we do have guys peeling off on and off the pit road. Paul Ferdiani just pulled in. There's Scott Milner. And that's Hayden Malcolm, excuse me. There's Scott Milner, the Valvoline gold, red and blue Valvoline car. Always a favorite, evoking the Mark Martin, Robbie Gordon, Gilles de Ferrin, Scott Riggs machines of the 90s and early 2000s. Incidentally, nobody is out of this race. Trenton Collins did come to pit road. And we'll show Trenton coming off. 8.0 seconds in the box, and so that tells me gas only, so he's going to double stint these tires on the 48. And that will transfer the lead after that pit cycle is done back to Matt Sisler. So the 93 leads. Alfie Sharon Jr. is 2nd. Joseph Bennett 3rd. Skylar Herod 4th. And Chris Gomes will round out your top 5. 74 laps complete. Working the lap 75 of a scheduled 125. Here in the NTRL Prospec Custom Accessories Xfinity Series. And speaking of Prospec, are you looking to upgrade your ride? Whether it's your truck, Jeep, boat, UTV, or ATV, Prospec has you covered. Locally owned and operated in Jacksonville, Florida, Duval County, Prospec specializes in high-quality accessories and installations that take your vehicle to the next level. From custom lighting like underglow and rock lights to top-of-the-line sound systems and backup cameras, we've got everything you need to make your ride truly yours. At Prospec, we bring your vision to life with precision and care. Visit us today and see why we're Jacksonville's go-to source for all things automotive and beyond. Prospec, where quality meets customization. Currently placing his custom stamp on this race, Matt Sisler, 4.3 seconds ahead of Alfie Sharon Jr. in 2nd. And we've got a caution. Caution is on the speedway. Caution on the speedway for the first time today. Joshua Moore in the 18. On pit road, let's see what we've got. Here in the Wayback Machine. Coming off a pit road. You know, that almost sounds like out of fuel. Meanwhile, back to live action. We did have some takers on pit road. Matt Sizzler came and got tires, or came and got fuel, excuse me. And so we did have some of the field come in. Sizzler back to 11th, so the top 10 would have stayed out. Gones, Sharon, Redding also came to pit road. Michael Bennett had just stopped. He is 7th. He had 5 laps on his last run, as did Trenton Collins. So those guys are going to stay out. Top 16 on the lead lap. So to reset the field for you, your leader after that exchange is Skylar Harrod. Sean Roberts is 2nd. Paul Durkee is 3rd. Nick Biddy 4th. Trenton Collins in the 88, or the 48, excuse me, is going to round out your top 5. You've got Justin Lawson in 6th. Michael Bennett 7th. Ryan Pisacco is 8th. Anthony Williams 9th. And Mike Parafoot is 10th. And we're going to see the deuce of Ryan Pisacco head toward pit road. Other cars behind. You do see the line of cars in front of the 3 of Skylar Harrod. Those machines will get the wave around to get back. They are on the tail end of the lead lap. So that's Hawley, Welch, Tucker, and Klein. They will get back to the tail end of the lead lap, and then you will have one lucky dog, or should have, and that should be Joseph Bennett if he already hasn't taken it. There will be something like 43, 44 laps to go here when we come back to green flag action. There's another great illustration of just how hard these guys work, even under caution. Clutch and coast, save the fuel, make sure that you get every last drop. So while we're under caution here, let's go ahead and pay some more bills. Make sure to accelerate your success with Track Bar Media, tailored for small business owners. We craft dynamic social media content, custom iRacing videos, and unique merch with no minimums. Maximize your reach with our national billboard placement and meet our elite Track Bar Motorsports esports team. Track Bar Media, affordable, impactful, and fast. Race on over to www.trackbarmedia.net now to learn more. Beadle's Custom Car Carriers. We create 1/64 scale model car carriers, and we also make all our kits in-house. We can make trucks to your specs. You can check me out at Beadle's Custom Car Carriers on Facebook and at Beadles, that's at BEADLES on Instagram. Davidson Builders LLC in Cape May County, New Jersey. Davidson Builders LLC is a beacon of excellence in Cape May County, New Jersey. Stands as a testament to family values and military dedication. As a veteran-owned and operated general contractor and remodeler with over 25 years of unmatched experience, we marry quality with affordability. From tailored customizations to expert craftsmanship, we can paint dreams into reality across residential and commercial landscapes. Check him out. That's www.davidson-builders. That's davidson-builders.com. The pace car is off. Skylar Harrod and Sean Roberts on the front row.
Green flag.
There's the green. Racing will resume here at Texas.
All right, man. Caution is out. Caution is out.
And just like that, we are back under caution. Trenton Collins through the infield. And this is just going to be one of those. One of those coming to green deals. There's the green flag. There's the restart zone. And that's always tough. We kind of talked about that at the beginning. Older tires on a restart can be very tricky. That did collect. That did collect other cars as well. I think you saw the outside line get kind of checked up there. Tough break for Trenton Collins, though. He had a really, really, really fast automobile, and the 48 machine now sits. It went from one of the leaders, top 5, to top 10 run. Now he sits at the tail end of the lead lap, waiting on the wave around from the Mustang pace car. Skylar Herod will continue to lead it from Sean Roberts, Paul Durkee. Nick Biddy is 4th. Haven't talked much about Nick today. He has been around the top 10. We have not called his name a lot, and sometimes that can be a really good thing, especially when it gets to be 30 laps to go. You get down to the end. You get down to the end of the race. So we see the lucky dog go by, but you get down to the end of the race. Start talking about the pay window getting ready to open, and there's Nick Biddy running for us. So great run for him. He's made up 12 spots. The 20 of Justin Lawson, another big mover. He started 27th, and he started 27th. He currently runs 5th. What a great run for Justin Lawson. Andy Sizemore up 24 spots. He rolled off 30th, and the 27 machine finds himself 6th. And then Michael Bennett, after all those big movers, he started 6th today. He is 7th. The cars that are coming up behind him were the guys on the tail end of the lead lap. Skylar Herod is your leader in the number 3. The 48 has yet to take the wave around. Waiting on that to occur. Herod, incidentally, has not backed into this. He hasn't been up at the front nearly as much as Matt Sisler or Alfie Sharon Jr. But Skylar Herod does have the fastest lap of the race today, as you see the purple P1 for Skylar Herod. And so good for Skylar. And Sean Roberts, he's been up, he's been down, literally and figuratively. High line, low line, front to the back, depending on where we are in the cycle. Paint scheme evoking that, I believe, of the Supra in the Fast and the Furious, if I'm thinking correctly. And so, good show for Sean Roberts. Running second. And we would be in remiss if we didn't say, hey, Numb Thumbs racing fans, are you looking to upgrade your ride? Whether it's your truck, car, Jeep, boat, UTV, or ATV, Prospec has you covered. Locally owned and operated in Jacksonville, Florida, Duval County, Prospec specializes in high-quality accessories and installations that take your vehicle to the next level. From custom lighting like underglow and rock lights to top-of-the-line sound systems and backup cameras, we've got everything you need to make your ride truly yours. At Prospec, we bring your vision to life with precision and care. Visit us today and see why we're Jacksonville's go-to source for all things automotive and beyond. Prospec, where quality meets customization. And here in the NTRL Prospec Xfinity Series, we are under caution, 85 laps now complete. Skylar Herod is your leader from Sean Roberts. Paul Durkee in the 13 is 3rd. Nick Biddy is 4th. And Justin Lawson rounds out your top 5. Lights out on the Mustang pace car. Skylar Harrod in the number 3 will lead him back to the green flag. Sean Roberts is second. Durkee and Biddy in row 2. Lawson and Sizemore, row 3, as they head toward the Geico restart zone.
Green flag, green flag.
Skylar Harrod gets the jump. The rest of the field files through safely this time as we head down into turn number 1, and they're already starting to think about going 3 wide. We're watching Alfie Sharon Jr. in 14th, Derek Welch and Anthony Williams in close attendance. Welch going to climb to the outside of the 78 machine and try to follow Matt Sizzler up there in the 93. Sizzler among the early and often pace setters in the 93 machine. And the 18, that's the 18 of Joshua Moore. Joshua Moore 3 laps down. He's looking to make it racy on Alfie Sharon as they haul off into turn number 1. Down to the inside goes Sharon. Joshua Moore gonna cut him a break. We're gonna see Sizzler work to the inside of Joe David in the 6th, so move Sizzler up to 12th. We've also got a battle between Zeth Hawley and Chris Klein. That is for 9th and 10th. Close racing, close quarters racing there. We're going to see Chris Klein. He's going to extend his advantage. Michael Bennett followed him through, but here comes Sizzler. He's going to go to the inside of Bennett, and Chris Gones is going to make it, is going to put his nose in there. He's going to climb to the outside. He's going to go to the outside of Bennett. And now Sizzler is going to follow Gones through. It appears on the outside. So move Gones to 9th, Sizzler 10th, Michael Bennett back to 11th, and he is now in the clutches of the lap machine of Moore, as well as the 24 of Zeth Hawley, who runs 12th. And now Matt Sizzler is going to get by Chris Gones, put Matt Sizzler up to 9th as we ride on board with him going down the front stretch. The top 8 have all more or less single filed out, and Sizzler again clutching and coasting that machine in the turns 1 and 2, right down on the bottom, late back to the gas. The track starting to cool off now. 117 as you see the thermometer, the track temp there. And I got to believe the 18, we got a battle for the lead, but the 18 is trying to race his way up there and get his lap back the hard way. A little bit of contact there, but everybody's going to save it, gather it back up. The 3 goes to the inside. That's Harrod. The 13 of Paul Durkee remains outside. Lawson and Roberts, just as they started this run, now Lawson's looking to go 3 wide, thought better of it. They remain 2 by 2, although Durkee is going to have the better of it as they come off at 3 and 4 off of the high side, and he'll have that great run down the double dog leg. 92 of 125, closing in, 30 laps to go. And I got to believe that what I'm hearing out of the 93, he is trying to clutch and coast and save it. Durkee, Howard, and Klein have all been out, as well as Roberts, have all been out multiple laps. 35 laps for your leader, Paul Durkee. 21 laps for Chris Klein. 36 for Harrod. 39 for Sean Roberts. Lawson and Biddy have also been on the track for nearly 40 laps. Zeth Hawley just 21 laps on his current run. Ryan Pasacco 13 laps, but Andy Sizemore's been out 32. And then you've got Welch, Gones, Sharon, and Sizzler all in there having stopped under that second to last caution. And so they may have 10 laps on their current stint, but that 10 laps was mostly run under yellow. And I got to believe those guys are trying to think about making it as we got cars coming to pit lane. That's going to be Lawson. It's going to be the 20 of Justin Lawson. We're also going to have the 13 of Paul Durkee. So they're the first to flinch. Now, this will be their final stop. They can make it. We see the 20 go up on Jax. So he is taking tires. Looking at Paul Durkee, is he going to take tires? He is. He also goes up on the jacks. And so those two cars electing to take their 4 tires under green here. Now, they will go a lap down, but they will have the freshest rubber for the end of this event. We see the 13. He's going to make his escape from pit road, get back onto the Texas Motor Speedway. Now more cars in. Nick Biddy, Joe David, all of these cars taking tires now. And that's going to promote Chris Klein in the 51 to the lead. Now, he and Zeth Hawley have been out for 25 laps. 10 of those have been under caution. So you figure 2 caution laps for every green lap. It's like they've been out for 15 to 20. Skylar Herod has the most laps. He has 40. He's working the 41st lap of his current stint. So any time now, we would expect the number 3 machine to hit pit road. Same way for Andy Sizemore. And once this all cycles through, it's going to give the lead over to Derek Welch, Chris Gones, Ryan Pasacco, and Alfie Sharon Jr., Matt Sisler, Jesse Redding, those cars that stopped anywhere from 12 to 15 laps ago. And here comes Skylar Herod off the banking in turn number 3, going to pull it down to pit road, get it woed down. It's 45 miles an hour down there. Be careful, don't speed. SkunkWorksGraphics.com on the side of the number 3 Toyota Supra. Good looking machine. White with a black carbon fiber top. Got some gray and some red to it. Herod going to pull in. It does go up on the jacks, and so Skylar Herod is going to take his final set of Goodyears. Klein continues to lead it. Zeth Hawley will run second. And then third, Derek Welch. Remember, Welch, Gones, Sharon, Sisler all have quite a bit of fuel in hand. Pasacco did stop 4 laps before Welch, Gones, Sharon, and Sisler. It's going to be quite a stretch. We're watching Alfie Sharon. He seems to be the one that is doing the most saving, although he's now going to hit pit road, slow down, get a woed up.
All right, man. Caution is out. Caution is out.
And we've got caution. So Paul Durkee involved, and that's just the first car I saw. But it appears as though the 22 of Chuck Kiger kind of ricocheted off the wall a little bit. Let's see if we can get a better angle on that. The 22 Huck's machine kind of gets up and kisses the wall back down in front of Paul Durkee, and nowhere to go for the 13. So that's the reason for your yellow light there. Meanwhile, everybody that stayed out and is still on the lead lap going to get a chance to bring it to pit road. And so that saves Klein, Hawley, Pasacco potentially. Give a call down to Crystal Villano. Crystal is 7th on the racetrack. She'll get to come in 4 tires and fuel as well. Last car on the lead lap is Trenton Collins, so he's rebounded from his restart snafu there. So Collins is the last car on the lead lap. Gones, Bennett, Sharon, all 1 lap down. They should get the wave around here as we watch Crystal Villano on pit road. And we'll just track the 07's pit stop here. Overshot the pit box. No big deal. No big deal. Only one car behind her in the running order in terms of cars on the lead lap. So she's always going to come out 7th or 8th. Indeed she does. So final stop, down and away for Crystal Villano. Derek Welch stayed on the speedway, and he is your new leader in the number 1. So Derek Welch does not pit. Klein, Sizzler, Hawley, Pisacco, Tucker, Collins, and Villano all stopped. Joseph Bennett got the lucky dog, and Joseph currently on pit road. He's going to be 9th. Everybody else is 1 lap down and trapped 1 lap down. And so the gamesmanship can kind of begin here a little bit. If you're Derek Welch and you know you've got fast cars like Sizzler, Sharon, some of these guys that have been up front, and they are your main competition, you may elect to stay out. How about it out there in the YouTube chat? Do you think that's a strategic call from Chris? You think that's a strategic call there from Derek Welch to stay out? We've got a Let's Go TBM, make great choices, and so thank you for that. But having been in that position, yeah, Tony Estrada, and I'm with you, Tony. We've raced together a lot. Having been in that position, if you've got the fast guys trapped a lap down, even if it's marginal, and you think you could be able to make it, it's usually a pretty good call to go ahead and keep it on the speedway, because that's gonna set you up. He did stop 20 laps ago. A lot of these laps have been run under yellow. You get one more yellow, you might be able to make it, or if you can't make it, you can come in, take a splash, take your last set of good years, and get going back down the road and be in a great position for a final shootout with, again, a minimal number of people on the lead lap. 9 cars. That's Welch in the lead. Now Sizzler second. Hawley third. Pisacco fourth. Tucker fifth. Collins sixth. Villano seventh. Bennett eighth. And Klein ninth. Gones 10th. Sharon Jr. 11th. Sizemore 12th. Those cars all trapped 1 lap down. And to not put too fine of a point on it, Alfie Sharon Jr. is your points leader. He did lead the most laps last week. He ran second to Chris Gones. Both of those cars, Sharon and Jones, Alfie Sharon Jr., Chris Gones, are the 2 points leaders. And so Matt Sizzler, although he's 10 markers behind, 169 to 159, stands to gain quite a bit, as does Derek Welch. Right? Keep your points chances alive. But the pace car is about ready to duck on off here.
Green flag.
Laps to go. Matt Sizzler challenges Derek Welch for the lead of the event. Row 2, Zeth Hawley underneath Ryan Pisacco. An interested party, Nicholas Tucker in the 88. Right up the middle. So put Tucker to fourth, Passaco third. They're gonna have Derek Welch under fire. Passaco gonna go by Welch now. As Tucker looks to do the same. Hawley has maintained fifth. He's followed by Trenton Collins in the 48. And Crystal Volano. She ran very well at Dover. Got caught up in a mess that was not her own making. She's going to go underneath the lap 13 car. Ryan Passaco sets the fastest lap of the race. But Crystal Volano, give a call down to her. Seventh in the running order on merit. Very, very well done indeed, up 10 spots. But the man on the mission right now is Ryan Passaco. He has gone around Matt Sisler for the lead. Passaco also just set what I believe is the fastest lap of the race, 31.183. Joshua Moore is going to take that right back, 169.183 on the speed. Now we'll look at the intervals between the automobiles out on the speedway. Passaco leads at Sisler second, Tucker third, and that battle now is for second. Nicholas Tucker looking to get racy on Matt Sisler. Sisler has led most of the way this evening. But you got to think maybe he's got caught out on some older tires, maybe didn't have a set left, came in, got gas only, 7 laps on the current stint, but only 6.4 seconds in the box. So no tires likely for Sisler. Tucker, Passaco, Hawley, Collins, they all have them. Derek Welch, 26 laps on his current run. Derek Welch is got to be getting low on gas. He's just thinking about making it. Can he make it? As Tucker goes around Sisler, and now the question is not when, but if Hawley and Collins also do the same thing, and then you've got some time back. You've got some time back to the battle between Crystal Volano and Derek Welch. That's going to be 6th and 7th for the battle between Volano and Welch. Volano also on new tires. Also no concerns with fuel, certainly. And she'll go around Derek Welch. So put Crystal Volano up to 6th. Looking at potentially a top 5 run. Quite a bit of traffic, though, for Crystal. The 20 is the next car up ahead of her. And that is a lap machine. Now, the story is going to be how far back, if this thing stays green, and we've got 13 laps to go, there are 2 stories that we can follow here. The first is how far back is Matt Sisler going to drop, not having fresh tires? And then can Derek Welch make it? Derek Welch, 29 laps out on his current run. He would need to make it 42 laps to get to the end of this race. Now there was a significant amount of caution, and so Derek is perhaps thinking, well, with the cautions, we might be able to do it. Let's go on board with Derek Welch, not shutting the car off. But a good shot here, even if you got a nurse at home, he's got a good shot. He's going to run. The worst you can run is 9th. As long as you bring it home on the lead lap. Gones and Sharon, 10th and 11th, trapped 1 lap down on that last caution. Alfie Sharon Jr. was just on the pit road when the caution flag flew. Unfortunate and a tough break for Alfie Sharon Jr., who had led quite a bit of this. And there's Derek Welch shutting the car off, pushing in the clutch, killing the ignition. Anything to save just that 1 extra drop of Sunoco racing fuel. So Pisacco leads it. Tucker is second. Zeth Hawley third. Matt Sisler has stabilized now in fourth and has about a 1.6 second gap over Trenton Collins in fifth. Crystal Volano sixth. Joseph Bennett seventh, now getting around Derek Welch, put him back to eighth. Chris Klein is ninth. Those are the cars that remain on the lead lap. Chris Goins 1 lap down in 10th. Alfie Sharon Jr. is 11th. Other notables circling down, Sean Roberts, one of the leaders early, also trapped a lap down 14th. Skylar Harrod at one time and for a long time the fastest lap holder of the evening. He runs 16th. Give a call down to Hayden Malcolm in the 91. Apex Sim Racing on that number 91 Camaro, 25th. There's Chris Schusler, 26th. And Tom Barish, 27th. The 55 is the final car in the NTG machine. He is the final car, 1 lap down. 2 laps down, Joshua Moore. And Joshua Moore has been mighty racy at the front of this field trying to get that lap back. But Joshua Moore is 2 laps down. So is Mike Caravo. Thomas Welch in the Mountain Dew car there, 2 laps down. And then 31st, also 2 laps down, what I call the Dan Gurney Toyota of Jarrett Woodard. Scott Milner, the 31, not a particularly fun day for the number 31 Valvoline machine. Started 11th, he runs 32nd. Paul Durkee caught up in an accident earlier, 33rd. And then 5 laps down, Chuck Kiger in the Hux number 22, 34th, shotgun on the field. We'll go back to the leader, Ryan Pisacco, who is now under fire from Nicholas Tucker. So we do have a battle for the lead here. Both of those cars on fresh tires. Both of them stopped at the latest caution. Both of them very, very, very quick. We've seen both of them make some moves today. Certainly Pisacco starting 13th has most assuredly come up through there. But Josh Tucker, or Nicholas Tucker, excuse me, we've got caution. No, that's not it. Trying to see what we can see here. Well, we don't have anybody on pit road and do not see anyone towing. Derek Welch is going to bring his car to pit road, as is Chris Klein. So the 1 and 51 on pit lane. They had both been. Klein had been dropping through the field. He is also the last car among those on the lead lap. Derek Welch, as you can see, he's going to come in and grab 4 fresh tires. And so that game of poker that he played may turn out to be fortuitous. Derek Welch is going to come in, get 4 fresh Goodyear tires, as does Chris Klein. They're already at the back of the lead lap anyway. They have absolutely nothing to lose. And, why not? If you got you can't take them with you, certainly. And so, cool move for them. So I think we found the caution. There it is. So the number 9 of Thomas Welch. See him going through turns 1 and 2 there. Right down on the white line. Going to come off the corner. The back end starts to slide around. He's trying to catch it, and just door-to-door contact. Door-to-door contact with the 22 there. That's a tough break for both the 9 and the 22. Both of those drivers already having kind of a long evening, and then get involved in a just kind of one of those racing deals at the end. But as we go back to live action, we're going to have a green-white checker finish here. Passaco leads it. Tucker second. The caution kind of saved the pass on the lead because Nicholas Tucker, and I apologize for calling him Josh Tucker, an old teammate of mine on the IndyCar side, but Nicholas Tucker was making the pass for the lead when the caution came out. That means that we're going to have a green-white checker, 2 guys in the front on old tires. Same in the second row with Hawley and Sizzler. Sizzler's tires, we know, are quite a bit more shot than those around him. Collins and Crystal Volano, who has moved into 6th, they are going to be on row 3. And then here's the one to watch. Joseph Bennett is 7th. Derek Welch and Chris Klein. Both of those cars, the number 1 and the number 51, came in 4 fresh tires. I assume alleviated any of the fuel concerns that they may have had. And so how many spots can they make up in one green-white checker? And if there's more than one, that, of course, is going to get multiplied. Lights are still on the Mustang pace car. I guess lights are off the Mustang pace car. Here we go. Green-white checker finish from Texas in the Texas 300K. Here in the NTRL Prospec Xfinity Series. Passaco gets the jump. Tucker just a little bit late off the line. He's going to come under fire from Josh Hawley. Or Zeth Hawley, excuse me. Meanwhile, Matt Sizzler going to try to fall into 4th. The 48 of Trenton Collins has made it all the way back up to 5th. Back straight now. The 88 gets a little bit loose off the corner off of number 2. That'll happen if you press the middle of the corner a little bit too hard. That's going to put Sizzler to his inside. Meanwhile, the tires are coming. Derek Welch moves to 7th. He's going to power around the outside of the 00 of Joseph Bennett for 6th. White flag in the air. It is all Ryan Passaco in the lead. Zeth Hawley has moved into 2nd, and somehow Sizzler has gotten back to 3rd, and up the middle comes Derek Welch. He is to 5th. He's working to see if he can't get to 4th. Hawley draws a beat on Passaco off the corner. A little bit of contact. It's going to be Zeth Hawley at the line. So Zeth Hawley is going to get to Ryan Passaco by an eyelash. Matt Sizzler comes home 3rd, and the new tires for Derek Welch pay off. He'll run 4th. Nicholas Tucker 5th. Chris Klein 6th. Joseph Bennett 7th. Trenton Collins 8th. Crystal Volano 9th. Final car on the lead lap. Chris Gones runs 10th. Wow. What a wild last corner. Zeth Hawley beats Ryan Passaco back to the line. Passaco gets just a little loose coming off the corner. Zeth Hawley there to take advantage. And Matt Sizzler somehow makes those double-stinted tires work. He'll come home 3rd. Derek Welch, the call to come to pit road pays off. He'll be fourth, and Nicholas Tucker rounds out your top 5. And there we have it. From fourth on the grid, Zeth Hawley is your winner. He makes up 4 spots, leads only 1 lap, but it was the one that counted. Ryan Pasacco, great run up from 11th. He'll finish second, led 21 laps. Matt Sisler, 59 laps led, and I believe that is the most. He finished right where he started. He made 5 pit stops on the afternoon. Derek Welch will be 4th. Nicholas Tucker 5th in the 88. Chris Klein is 6th, Joseph Bennett 7th, Trenton Collins 8th, Crystal Volano 9th, and Chris Gones rounds out your top 5. Only the top 10, or rounds out your top 10. Only the top 10 finished the race on the lead lap. 1 lap in arrears, Michael Bennett 12th, Alfie Sharon Jr. Tough break, got caught out coming to pit road right as the caution flew. Skylar Harrod, same kind of a thing, is 13th. Skylar Harrod did lead 10 laps, and for the longest time had the fastest lap of the race. Sean Roberts 14th. 15th, Justin Lawson. 16th, Mike Fahey. 17th, Andy Sizemore. 18th, Jesse Redding. Joe DeVede, 19th. And rounding out the top 20, Nick Biddy. All of these cars 1 lap down. Russell Endicott, 21st. Benjamin McKinnon, 22nd. Paul Ferdiani, 23rd. Hayden McCallum, 24th. Tom Barish brings the 55 home, 25th. Anthony Williams, 26th. Chris Schusler, 27th. And the final car, 1 lap down. 28th, 2 laps adrift, Mike Corvo. 29th, Jared Woodward. And 30th in the number 9, Thomas Welch. 31st, Scott Milner. 3 laps down, 4 laps down, Paul Durkee. 5 laps down, Chuck Kiger. An eventful afternoon for the 22. And Joshua Moore, 7 laps down, shotgun on the field. But Joshua Moore did have the fastest lap of the race. So fastest lap of the race for Joshua Moore. And we'll get see who we've got to talk to after an eventful Texas 300K. All right, let's go ahead and bring up our 3rd place finisher, Matt Sisler. Matt, this is Mark in the P1 broadcasting booth. You got a copy?
Hello.
An eventful day for you. You went from the front. You went to the front. You led the most laps. Kind of got caught with a caution there. Got sent to the back of that deal. Drove your way back up to the front. Were you on double stinted tires there at the end?
No, no, Mark. What happened? We had pitted to make it maximum on fuel. Like you could do max at 37, and if you were really trying to save, you probably could get 40. So that's where I took my last set. So I had 10, 15 lap older tires than the cars around me, aside from Derek, because he was sneaky and had an extra set of tires right there at the end. That was fun seeing him charge up through there. But no, we were playing for a long green flag run at the end because we had a long one early, so we were hoping for another one in our 3 birdies Supra, and unfortunately didn't quite play out like that. I knew it would be difficult, but we're started 3rd, led the most laps, came home 3rd. Didn't expect to come home 3rd, but very happy to come home 3rd.
Yeah, well, I mean, excellent run for you. It was eventful for sure, and enjoyed seeing you. Enjoyed seeing your guys' paints today. It's a good looking hot rod you got there.
Oh, I mean, I appreciate that. I probably have a better one coming because my paint designer, a guy by the name of Lil Hooper, who's also one of my Twitch channel mods, he's working his way to get the slightly better versions of these out. But these were my first paints like this and a couple other ones that I run just to get the sponsor on the car as quick as possible. So I do appreciate that, Mark. It feels good to hear a compliment because I had never made paints before that Supra. So it's really nice to hear.
Good deal. Well, congratulations on an awesome run. Third place, nothing to sneeze at. Nothing to sneeze at. Anytime you can walk away with a podium, it's always a good night, Matt. You got any shout outs, friends, family, sponsors, anybody you'd like to say hello to out there?
I mean, obviously, first off, Mark, you guys for P1 coming on board at short notice to be the new broadcasters for this series. Derek running NTRL. I mean, this is an awesome series. I'm a rookie in both this and tomorrow's Gen 6 series in NTRL. So it's a learning experience for me, but it's a lot of fun. And again, thank you guys for coming on board, to be the broadcasters for this league, because this group deserves it for sure. My sponsor, Three Birdies Golf Company, they have a website, threebirdiesgolf.com. You can go check them out. They've got some pretty cool stuff up there. I'm actually wearing some of their gear right now. My paint designer / team manager, Lil Hooper. I'm pretty sure my mom's watching my Twitch right now, so I'm going to just say, hi, Mom. We're going to Disneyland. My community over on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/sysmoney_gaming. I try to stream POVs of my races. So, again, you guys, Mark, for coming on board, being a great broadcast. I was watching it during the race, keeping an eye on everything, and you guys do a good job. So
I definitely appreciate that, Matt. Go celebrate your third place, and have a great rest of your night. You hear?
Appreciate that, Mark. We'll see you next week.
Yes, sir. So that's Matt. That is Matt Sisler, third place on the afternoon. Coming home second, we'll get Ryan Pasacco here. Get him queued up. Hey Ryan, Mark Murphy in the P1 booth. You got a copy?
I do. How you doing?
Not doing too bad. Really, 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 really close.
Really close. I felt like I gave it up getting into 3. I think I overshot it a little bit and screwed up the exit on 4 and just lost it a little bit at the line. But not a bad run.
No, anytime you can come home second and lead a ton of laps, it's always a good night. You got a good looking hot rod that we finally got everybody a chance to see. So happy for you guys on that deal. Talk to us about the track. It was kind of hot and greasy for most of it out there, it seemed.
Yeah, I really I struggled in practice. I couldn't figure it out, and teammates kind of gave me some pointers and things to look for, and definitely helped. Got a good qualifying. I think started 10th or something like that, and more laps we got into it, the better I think I got a hold of the track. But yeah, the tires were premium tonight, and they wore out pretty quick. So it was just a battle of who can take care of them the best, and sucks I got away there at the end, but it is what it is. On to the next week.
Hey, anytime you can run second, anytime you can stand on the podium, it's a good night. So, definitely take heart in that, Ryan. Friends, family, sponsors, anybody you'd like to shout out this evening before we let you
go? No, I just want to thank the people for having us here. I want to thank my teammates for bringing me into this series, and like I said, they gave me a lot of pointers here tonight, and how to figure this place out. So, this is for them.
Perfect. Well, Ryan, again, enjoy the second place. It's a nice night in the points. It's always good to run up front. Keep going fast and having fun, my friend. We'll see you next week.
All right, man. Thanks. Have a good night.
Yes, sir. And with that, the man of the hour, Zeth Hawley, your winner tonight in the Texas 300K. Zeth, how about it? That last corner looked. Ryan said he got in a little bit late and it hurt him on exit. What was your view?
Yeah, it definitely looked like he got in a little bit late to the brakes to get it down to the bottom of the turn. But I just hit my marks, and I was right there for the finish. And he did a hell of a job trying to block me, but I just got him underneath, and I didn't have him till the line. So either way, I was getting a podium, first place, second place. I didn't matter which, but first place feels better.
Heck yeah! Well, we were watching you guys a lot. Between you and Derek Welch, Klein was involved in that a lot. So was Chris Gones, Alfie Sharon. There were about 4 or 5 of you guys that were stuck together like glue. Talk about the racing just in the beginning and middle stages for you guys.
In the beginning, coming into it, I had a game plan just like Dover, double stent the tires, go as long as I can. I got a set of tires on the second round of pit stops, and then I got my next set on that caution right about 100 laps in, so I knew it was going to be good for the rest of the race. After that, it was just trying to maintain speed, keep my position, and try to track down the leaders. And from what I could see coming into that 3-lap-to-go caution, I started pulling on them a bit because I think they burned up their tires trying to race each other a little bit too much. And that was just a deciding factor. I maintained my tires just a little bit better and hit my marks, and coming to the line is where it mattered.
Absolutely. Well, my friend, you did you pulled my favorite kind of race. You ran it clean, you ran it smart. You led only 1 lap, but that was the lap that they paid the money for. And so congratulations on that, Zeth. You got any friends, family, sponsors you'd like to shout out there today?
Yeah, first of all, I want to shout out my teammates over at Plus EV, Paul Ferdiani, Joe Bennett, Andy Sizemore, sorry, Joshua Moore. Like, I always have a blast racing with these guys. We always have a good laugh while we're racing, even when it gets a little bit aggressive sometimes. But it comes with the terms of racing. A shout out to Prospec Accessory Parts. It's Joe Bennett's company. Thank you guys for putting on this race and sponsoring it, and most importantly, thanks to NTG and NTRL for putting on the series. And racing the Xfinity's cars, it's always a blast. I mean, these are some of my favorite cars. Outside of that, it'd probably be the stadium trucks or the pro trucks. But I always have a blast racing here. I mean, sometimes it's tough, but other times it's well worth it in the end.
Absolutely. Well, Zeth, again, congratulations on the win tonight. You led 1 lap, but that was the lap that pays the money. That's the checkered flag lap. Keep going fast, having fun, my friend, and we'll see you next week. You hear?
Yep. See you next week, man.
Yes, sir. So that was Zeth Hawley, our winner this evening at Texas. For everybody at P1 Broadcasting, this is Mark Murphy. If you haven't already done so, make sure you hit the like button on the video, hit the subscribe for the channel. Those are huge things for us as we continue to go through our launch. I'd like to thank Gary Godso for his patience with me today. As you guys can still tell, there are some technical difficulties for me yet. Not everything is completely ironed out and as smooth as we would like it to be. We're trying to get a little bit better with my stream every time out, and I think we did that tonight. It was wonderful to see the kaleidoscope of colors on all of these NTRA machines this evening. So we got to see the throwback to Jeff Gordon. We got to see the birdies, the 3 birdies car for Matt Sisler. Just awesome to see all of the hard work that these guys put in. And as for me, I thank everybody out there for their patience. I got to thank Gary for the opportunity, and I got to thank Derek as well. And we're going to continue to get a little bit better each week. Extend our best wishes out there to Justin Petchower, and I hope he's feeling better tonight. But this is Mark Murphy for P1 Broadcasting. Again, everyone out there, our police, fire, military, first responders, stay safe out there. Keep everybody safe, and keep doing the good work. And we will see you next week.